my Lord, O King, this is the woman, and this is her son, whom Elijah restored to life. And when the king asked the woman, she told him. So the king appointed unto her a certain officer, saying, restore all that was hers, and all the fruits of the field, since the day that she left the land, even until now. That might not seem like enough to be anything, but let me read the New International Version. And when she finished explaining to the king what happened, the king assigned an officer to her case and said, give her back everything she lost from the day that she left the field until now. Only you must include the interest. That may not seem like enough to be anything tonight, but do me a favor and just look at somebody dead in the face, eyeball to eyeball, and tell them these words. Tell them, say, neighbor, the king said, give it all back. Touch somebody on the other side of you and tell them these words if you will. Tell them, say, neighbor, the king said, give it all back. Turn around and look at somebody else on the other side of you and say, did you hear what I said? Tell them the king said, he's going to give it all back. Lay hands on yourself, because it's easy to tell somebody else what the king going to do. But every now and then you got to prophesy to your own self. Every now and then you got to talk to your own self. Lay hands on yourself and say it like this. Tell them, say, the king said, he going to give it all back. Touch your neighbor, say, back is coming. It's amazing what God is doing in this last hour, because he's really making things happen full circle. It's a challenge because some of us that start out don't always perceive the thoughts of God and the mind of God. Some of us don't always understand the intellect of God. Many times it's confusing if you let it to just somehow or another question the mindset of what God is doing. The reality of the function is on this wise. Wouldn't it be something if everybody in here started out knowing what God was doing when he first started? How farther would we have been in the Holy Ghost? I question that because look at your neighbor and say, if I had only known what God was doing when he first started. Confess it to your neighbor, if I hadn't made no sidetracks, if I hadn't stopped and go, if I hadn't went by a quick pick, I can't hear nobody. Confess to your neighbor, if I hadn't got caught up in some of that stuff that I know wasn't good for me. Can you imagine how far I would be right now? And look at your neighbor and say, but you can't cry over spilled milk. Tell God had a purpose for everything that happens in your life. And tell him what I want you to do right now is don't thank him for the bad, but thank him for what he's doing in you right now. Because whether you want to admit it or not, you are saved today because of what happened in your yesterday. If you hadn't had a yesterday, you wouldn't have been able to thank God for your today. Oh, y'all ain't gonna like what I'm saying. If you hadn't went through what you went through and gone through what you've gone through, or you paying for it now, I can hear about it. Oh, y'all ain't gonna like what I'm saying. Touch your neighbor and say, you paying for it now, but thank God for what he's doing in you now. Oh yeah, you got a few illegitimate children, I can hear nobody. Your other girlfriend got your child support paying, I can hear nobody. Now you're done trying to pick up the pieces to your life, I can hear nobody. It look like your whole life is just shattered and dreamed because you're working and it seems like you can't get ahead. But look at your neighbor and say, I'm so glad. But even the mistakes I made God had a purpose. Because one thing about it, I learned from the mistakes. Yeah, touch your neighbor and say, I had to learn some things. Now look at your neighbor and say it to him like this and tell him, I was one of them hard-headed ones. You had to prove to me what you were saying. I can't hear nobody. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk back to me tonight. And touch your neighbor and tell him, I found out that hard head makes soft behind. And one thing that's really sad, I can hear about it. Touch your neighbor and tell them, I'm glad that I learned my lesson. Amen. Now the Holy Ghost gave me some things that he wanted me to say, and I don't know why he picked tonight to say it. Amen. I really wanted to just shout and dance and speak in tongues. But look at your neighbor and tell them these words. Tell them, say, the first thing we got to do is stop complaining. Tell your neighbor, anybody can complain about what they don't have, about how bad it is, about how rough it gets. But touch your neighbor and tell them, but it takes somebody that has an identification with the King. Understand it's going to get better. Number one, God said to me these words. He said, I want you to tell the saints of God that come to church on Friday night to look very closely at the person that are sitting next to you and that have been placed in your life. Do me a favor, turn around and look at those persons. Look at that man, look at that woman. I mean, look at them up and down. Look at them from head to toe. Now, this is the question. Look at that person and say, what I'm trying to figure out is what role you play in the complexities of my life. What is the purpose of your being in my life? Why are you my daughter? Why are you my son? Why did I marry you? Why are you my member? Why did I have to be your pastor? Why are we friends? Why are we enemies? Oh, it's quiet in the house right now. Touch your neighbor and say, I gotta figure out in the Holy Ghost what role you are playing in my life. Because if I figure out what role you're playing, whether it's positive or negative, I will turn this thing around. And whether you've been there placed to hurt me, or whether you've been there to destroy me, or whether you've been placed in my life to set me back, if I understand your role, I can go on further. God began to deal with me about this. I said, God, what are you saying? And he took me to the word. He said, Nathan, did you know that Peter's role in the life of Jesus played such a significant part that not only did he know who Jesus was, but he was the same one that when he asked him to let him wash his feet, had to turn around and say, Satan, get thee hence behind me. But had he never said, Satan, get thee hence behind me, Peter would have never walked by the enemy's fire. Peter would have never denied Christ. And Peter would have never stood up on the day of Pentecost and said, men and brethren, these are not drunk as ye suppose. That thing really dealt with me. And I said, God, I still don't understand. He said, all right, let's deal with Judas. I said, what do you mean, God? He said to me, Judas played a significant role in my success. I said, how? He sold him out for 30 pieces of silver. He kissed him on his cheek and betrayed him. He said, but what you have to understand is what I said to Judas was what issued him to do what he had to do. And I said to him, that thou doest, doeth it quickly. And had he never played the role of Judas in my life, I would have never ascended to the throne. Had I never ascended to the throne, I would have never been the Savior of the world. Had I never saved the world, I can't hear nobody, you wouldn't be saved. Oh, yeah. Look at your neighbor and say, I thank God for the Judases in my life. I thank God for the snakes. I thank God for the lions. I thank God for the heartbreakers. Touch your neighbor and tell them, I am what I am today. Because somebody hurt me. Somebody lied on me. Somebody did me wrong.
Ain't that right?
If they never did me wrong, I would have never got to the place where I am, where I stopped looking to people and look to God. So touch your neighbor and say, I need to figure out how you figure in the scenario of the complexity of my life. As soon as I figure that out, it's not going to be a problem no more. As soon as I figure it out, I'm going to realize that your purpose in my life is to make me pray. That your whole reason for being, I can't hear nobody, is to get me so that my concentration is not on you, but on God. Good God from Zion. I think it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a smooth ride tonight. Number 2, are you ready? Touch your neighbor and say, and let me go back to number 1. Touch your neighbor and say, until you can thank God for the bad areas in your life, you're not going to get delivered. Until you can openly confess that this was the thing that was going to destroy me. But had I not got delivered from it and got tired of it, reached the end, I would never learn to appreciate where God is taking me right now.
Amen.
Oh, I'm going to mess up tonight. Number 2, confess it to your neighbor like this. Y'all don't mind if I just take my time. I'm going to preach it for a minute, but let me just take my time and just teach a little bit tonight. Number 2, everybody say number 2.
Number 2.
God said to me, when you get to church tonight, I want you to determine to tell the people, we got to make a decision. Touch your neighbor and say, a decision has got to be made. It's got to be made tonight. I said, what you mean, God? He said, the decision that must be made is on this wise. Either I'm going to let what takes place in my life be a devastating fiasco, or I'm going to turn it around and make it a fascinating scenario.
Amen.
Amen.
Touch your neighbor and say, the choice is yours. Either I'm going to let this be a devastating fiasco and live the rest of my life in regret, and live the rest of my life feeling sorry for myself and wondering why this happened to me and why did I do this and why didn't I do that. Touch your neighbor and say, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but you didn't. Oh, I'm going to mess up tonight. I might have to run me out of here. I can't hear nobody. I ain't got no gun in here, Lucy. I can't hear you. I said, God, what do you mean? A devastating fiasco or a fascinating scenario? God said to tell everybody in this room, you have a choice of turning a bad situation into something that works together for your good. I said, how, Lord? And he gave me 3 examples. He said, Nathan Simmons, this is what, and I started telling you about this last night. He said, look at so-and-so. I said, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. He said, one of the young mothers in the church had a daughter. The daughter fooled around while she was a little girl, kept her with ponytails, kept her with braids, put a nice little pink dress on, brought her to church, raised her up in church, taught her the ways of God. She came up in church, knew the things of God. But then somewhere along the line, she let one of those little boys grab hold to her. Can't hear nobody. Messed up her mind and messed up her head.
Amen.
On the same token, this is what ended up happening. She ended up being a teenage mother. 14, 15 years old, pregnant.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, y'all ain't gonna say nothing to me. So the mother went through a depression and went through a sad period of time in her life, wondering, God, where did I go wrong? God, what did I do wrong? I kept in church. I kept on the altar. I kept doing everything I know to do. I kept cleaning the house. I fed her. I sent her to school. I did everything I know to do as a mother could. I looked at that mother and I said to them, heard these words. I said, let me explain something to you. You can raise these children, but you can't make them do nothing. Well, y'all ain't gonna say nothing to me. I said, have you ever heard the statement, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink? I said, some things that are happening right now, she's gonna have to go through it. She kept calling me every time she gets sick. Pastor, will you pray? She's throwing up. She's having morning sickness. She's in pain. She's going through this. She's going through that. She feels like she's about to die. Pastor, please pray. I said, I ain't praying another prayer. They said, why? I said, because you sitting up with her in the emergency room. You sitting up with her in the clinic. You sitting up with her going through all kind of changes. She done told you off. She done ran away. She done did, you name it, she done it. I can't hear nobody.
Amen.
And she want to live in your house and don't want to really serve God. You go to church and she don't want to go to church.
All right, come on. Go ahead.
I said, you the one crying, shaking your head, feeling sorry for yourself, going through all kind of changes. I said, the devil is a lie. And that's what made me say what I said last night, and I'm going to say it again. I can't hear nobody. I said the next time she got to go to the emergency, the next time she got to go to the clinic, you tell her, go get the nigga and help her get that baby. And you come to church, you shout,
That's all right.
you dance, you speak in tongues, because you ain't the one that had the baby. Or y'all ain't going to say nothing to her. I said, what the devil's trying to do is make this thing a devastating fiasco. He's trying to make you think and feel guilty because you did something wrong. I can't hear about it.
Amen.
He's trying to make you go through changes unnecessarily. I said, now what you need to do is sit down, and you need to sit down and be honest. And you need to tell them, listen, the reason why you're like you are is because I was like that when I was your age.
Right.
Well, y'all ain't saying amen now. The reason why you're going through the changes you're going through right now is because before I got saved and before I gave my heart to God and before I got delivered and set free, I was just like you.
That's right.
That's all right anyhow. Amen. True.
Now, you're going to have to go through the same thing I went through, because there ain't going to be no easy way out.
Amen.
Amen.
I said, now what you do, honey, is you come to church, you shout, you dance, you don't let nobody in the bathroom talking about your baby having a baby. I can hear nobody, ain't that a shame? Lord, sister so-and-so child, the deep as she is saved as she is, that don't make no kind of sense. If she was all that saved, then what's going on? Look like the Lord would have saved in her family first.
The devil is a lie.
So she stayed home for about 3 or 4 Sundays. I picked up the phone and called up and I said, now I'm going to tell you something. You can either turn this thing around.
That's right.
And make this thing a devastating fiasco and go through depression and feel sorry for yourself and wonder why this had to happen to you. Or you can get yourself up, come to God's house, put on your best clothes, make that heifer come to church. I can't hear nobody. Belly and all. Sit on the last row. I can't hear nobody. Tell her she gonna live in your house. She gonna get up out of your house or she gonna lock her out.
That's all right. That's all right. That's the truth.
When the saints go to looking at you, go to shout. Go to praising God. And turn this into a fascinating scenario. When the baby is born, I can hear nobody get to telling God, God, I'm going to raise this one and pick this one in the child and tell her, y'all ain't saying that to me. Now listen, sweetheart, this is your baby. I didn't have this baby. I raised you. You're going to have to raise this one. I can hear nobody. Now I may babysit. I may be able to take care of it from time to time, but I ain't raising no more babies.
I ain't raising no more babies.
Amen.
That's for sure.
And lay hands on the child.
Amen.
And say, God, make this one a preacher.
Amen.
And whatever I did wrong with the rest of them, help me to do right by this one. Now the little boy is in our church. He's 5 or 6 years old. I can't hear nobody. He's prophesying. He's laying hands. We call him Little Prophet. He shouts and dances and speaks in tongues. The mama ain't saved. I can't hear nobody.
Amen.
Amen.
But the little boy is on fire for God.
Amen.
A little preacher and love God. I said, suppose you had made that child abort that baby. Suppose you would have went depressed and you backslide because you was embarrassed. I can hear about it because folks was talking about you because your daughter had a baby. I said, you got to learn how to turn this thing around from being a devastating fiasco or a fascinating scenario. Amen. Touch your neighbor and say, the choice is yours. The choice is yours. So you got to learn how. Y'all ain't saying that to me. They're downloading. A couple in my church working on a job for years. Came up to a supervisory position. And all of a sudden, on the job, they started cutting back. They started firing people, laying people off. So the brother kind of got depressed and he just got a nice, wonderful house and got a couple of cars and was doing real good. He said, what am I going to do? And he started trying to get depressed, going through changes. I said, first of all, did God give you that house?
All right, come on, come on.
Or did you get that house because you just wanted it?
Amen.
Because if God gave you something, he ain't the Indian giver. If your heart was right, I can hear nobody, God will fix it and turn it around. I said, you're not living beneath your privilege, are you? You didn't bite off more than you can chew, did you? Well, y'all ain't saying that to me. You're trying to keep up with the Joneses, are you? He said, no, sir. I said, then I want you to do me a favor. I want you to take whatever it is that they're going to give you, the severance pay, whatever they're going to give you, take your 401k. What I want you to do is take you and your family, go on a vacation, When you get through going on that vacation, while you're on that vacation, I want you to sit down and I want you to tell yourself, I could be depressed about losing my job, or I could tell myself, I'm going to make this a fascinating scenario.
Amen. Amen.
God, what are you trying to teach me?
Amen.
God, what are you trying to tell me? God, what are you trying to bring out of me? Because the same way you made money for that company, don't you know God can allow you to make money for yourself? I said, so take the rest of that money, I can hear about it, and invest it in yourself. And turn this into a fascinating scenario.
Thank you, Lord.
Last situation, I never thought it would happen in my church. I can't hear nobody. Brother got in there, they were happily, they were married. Oh my God, they were just going on. It looked like to me, they were the model family in the church. Oh my goodness. Come to find out, I can't hear nobody.
Amen.
Instead of him being the model man that he was portraying himself to be, come to find out, he fooled around. Had a little girlfriend on the side. Well, y'all sitting in here looking at me like I'm crazy. Came home one day, and the thing that was sad is the little heifer was in the church.
I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Here I was. I got a couple that's in the church. He got a girlfriend in the church. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. I got a pastor, and I'm her pastor, I'm his pastor, and I'm the wife's pastor, and I got to deal with the children. I can't hear nobody that want to kill her, because he going, I can't hear nobody with a young lady that's young enough to be his daughter.
Amen.
Oh, y'all don't like what I'm saying. I looked at that woman of God that was faithful and asked her a question. I said, did you give that man the best years of your life? She said, yes, sir. I said, did you cook for him? She said, yes, sir. I said, did you clean for him? She said, yes, sir. Did you have his children? She said, yes, sir. I did it. You name it, I did it. I said, did you try to be faithful? Were you good? Were you a good woman? She said, yes, sir. I said, well, you can't do nothing with somebody that's going through a middle-age crisis. I said, because the problem is, he don't know what he is and what he wants. I can't hear nobody. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing to me. He don't know a good thing when he sees it.
Right.
I said, so what he need to do and what you need to do is sit down with him and say, now this is what we gonna do. We ain't going to Sally Jesse Raphael. We ain't going on Jerry. I ain't going on Judge Judy. I'm not going on Judge Maybelline. Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing to me. You don't want me no more? Fine. See ya. Don't want to be here. But you got 3 more little babies that you got to take care of, and you going to child support court. I can't hear nobody, because until they get 18 years old, you going to take care of them. I said, then what you need to do, I can't hear nobody, is get you a good lawyer, have them pay you some alimony, take you some pictures, watch that movie called Cheetahs. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. Put it on videotape. Y'all ain't saying, that says you told them to do that? Yes. Go ahead. I said, put it on videotape. I can't hear nobody. I don't want to cause no trouble. I don't want to go. I said, you causing trouble for yourself. I said, so what you're going to do is let him take care of you for the rest of your life. Amen. Give you alimony, I can't hear nobody, and child support. I said, then you take that first payment that he gave you, because he don't want you no more. Go to Hawaii, go to Puerto Rico, go to Mexico, lay on the beach, have your virgin pina colada. Y'all ain't saying that to me. Get you a nice little bathing suit, lose you some weight. I can't hear nobody. Get you some new hair, get you some new nails. If you ain't got none of this, get you some. Go through an extreme makeover, baby. Get your stomach tucked. And get you one of them Mexicans, and if you can't even speak no English, say, speaking no English. It's all right, baby, just do the feet. How about that? And come on back to church. I can't hear that. Turn this thing around from being a devastating fiasco to a fascinating scenario. You're sitting around going through changes because you done picked up a few pounds and he don't want you no more. Touch your neighbor and say, everybody don't like bones. Learn how to like yourself. Learn how to love who you are. You ain't got no teeth, go buy you some teeth. You don't like the way your ears are, go get your ears. No, this ain't the day to sit back crying. This is not the day to sit back looking at yourself saying, I wish. Let your neighbor say, extreme makeover. But then while you're making yourself over, make over your attitude. Make over your own disposition. Start learning how to like yourself. And don't look for no